Hey guys, and welcome to the Not to Get Political podcast. I'm your host Brandozer, joined by my co-host every week, KiwiLucas.
Yeah, how we doing?
Good. How you doing this week?
It's been a long week. It's been a good week, but it's been a long week.
It's
How
been
about
a
yourself?
yeah, I've had a good week. It's been a big week in terms of news, and I know we're recording this a bit late, but I feel like there's been a lot that's happened this week.
Yeah, yeah. Few, um, I don't know, monumental things in the landscape of the gaming industry, I guess. Did you wanna start us off with that?
Yeah, so obviously the biggest piece of news is the Italian senator scandal.
Yeah,
um,
explain that to me.
so have you actually not heard of this? Obviously, the biggest thing that came out this week is the Microsoft Activision buyout for $70 billion, and we will get to that. But have you not heard about this
You
Final
sent
Fantasy?
us the thing,
Yeah. So
but
Nathan
yeah.
actually sent it to our group chat first, where an Italian Senate meeting. Apparently, someone was watching something they shouldn't have been in the background, and whatever happened, it ended up being one of the things that got played for all these congressmen and people in Italy, and it was a Final Fantasy VII hentai porno.
Just the good goods.
Oh, I just think that's the funniest thing in the world.
It
And
reminds me, like I know they do those like autocomplete interviews on YouTube. I can't remember what channel does it, but they had one with Samuel L. Jackson at one point. They're like, "Oh, does Samuel L. Jackson watch anime?" He's like, "Yes, hentai too."
it
It was like
was
that. That was
probably in that Italian Senate meeting. Um, I don't know.
what.
I just feel like the dynamic of just going to a Senate meeting, and then on this big screen behind everybody is just, you know, a picture of two cartoons banging, and it's just like, what the fuck? How do you even respond to that? Like
Oh,
somebody got fired.
if that happened in like Australian Parliament, that'd be the next like excuse to the only thing they talk about for like the next month. So, oh. But let's not get too political.
Yeah, no, what a top idea there, Lucas. So yeah, obviously huge other bit of gaming news. It's a bit more, straightforward. Is the Microsoft Activision buyout 68.7 billion US dollars. Microsoft bought Activision earlier this week. What's your take on that?
I'm Game Pass subscriber, so this sort of stuff is all like good news for me in a way, but it also starts to make me worry about like the Microsoft monopoly on the sort of gaming industry that seems to be looming. They're just buying company after company after company, and then just slapping these games on Game Pass. So um, I've heard like they're saying all the like Activision games won't be Microsoft exclusive, but you will be looking at getting stuff to be like, you know, first on Game Pass or first on Xbox. Like typically, Call of Duty had always been like first on PlayStation and stuff like that, or like had exclusives and stuff that like, you know, different guns and stuff like that you could only get on PlayStation. So it'll be interesting to see how those sort of things change to this deal. But yeah, what's your take on it? I know you have a lot more opinion than I do on it.
Yeah, so my take has become progressively more and more positive. When this first broke, I thought it was the end of gaming as we know it, and I thought everyone was gonna buy everyone, and I think there's still a lot of people in this kind of panic stage at the moment and haven't really analyzed what it means. Um, so when it first broke, it's a huge thing, and I didn't like it as much because of the whole monopoly of
Yeah.
but just buying game studios, and maybe it came from being a bit biased because I am a Sony fanboy, I guess, but I also use Game Pass, so I understand um, to the extent of the value Game Pass brings. It's one of the best things in gaming that has ever happened. But it was, yeah, as I've kind of read more data and analyzed it a bit more, it's not the end of gaming as we know it. And I don't want anybody to own any huge gaming company. Like, I'd much rather this have not happened, but I think we're all going to be okay.
I think the crazy things is like games like Sekiro could now be coming to like Game Pass, like stuff like that.
Wait,
Crash Bandicoot games.
Sekiro's from
Yes,
Software.
Front Software is a subsidiary of Activision.
Is it?
Yeah.
I had no idea. Are you sure?
Yep. Looking at it right now.
Huh. That is crazy.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
See, that's because I know, like, Bloodborne is a PlayStation exclusive, and it's by From Software and PlayStation Studios. But I know they've just had such a tight, like, co-op. What do you call it? Not co-op.
Working relationship.
Thank you for the adult term for co-op. Yeah, they've had such a great working relationship. That I felt like, I'm shocked. It's huge. Yeah, you just said as well, Crash Bandicoot is now a Xbox property. That's mind blowing. Like, actually mind blowing.
I'd like to see like the Crash Bandicoot games drop on Game Pass. Like, what's the Insane Trilogy or whatever? That would be. I mean, people would lose their mind over that. I feel like.
Do you think Crash Bandicoot still has that kind of power though?
I mean, like, yeah, like the impact when it came out, people were losing their mind that like it was being remastered. Like, I don't know how people react to it being a free to play game.
Yeah, true. You're right, because I remember buying that game the day it came out, and there was a line in, I can't actually remember where I bought it from, EB Games or something, I think, and there was a line and people just buying this game, and I didn't realize how huge Crash Bandicoot was, because to me it was always my mascot, being a PlayStation kid, and you hear Mario and Sonic and a lot of Mario, like a lot of Mario, and not as much Crash Bandicoot going around. But no, it's cool.
For me, what I want to see most, and this is going to be weird, is like because it's already on Xbox, is I want to play the Spyro trilogy on Game Pass because I kind of just want to play the third one. Like, I don't really care about the others because the third one's the only one I played growing up.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going through this list and just having a look at different things, like the Marvel Ultimate Alliances, because all of your like Vicarious Visions and Raven Software and all that, they're all Activision stuff.
Yeah.
There's quite a few like Marvel stuff, like Deadpool, the Tony Hawk games.
Well, not even just that. Like Blizzard as well. So obviously Activision owned Blizzard.
Yeah.
So you've got properties like Overwatch, Diablo, World of Warcraft is now owned by Microsoft. Just huge intellectual properties now owned by Microsoft is wild. And don't get it wrong, there is 100% going to be some kind of Game Pass plus World of Warcraft subscription coming out as soon as all this is finalized. where you get one plus the other, or maybe an additional fee for something, where you are, basically it's going to be bound to Game Pass, and all those people playing World of Warcraft are now going to have Game Pass as well.
I think like Xbox and that's been pretty open in that like you don't have to have Game Pass unless you want it. Like I don't think you'll ever have to have both Game Pass and like the World of Warcraft subscription. I know like I definitely think it will be an option. Like if you have Game Pass, then you get World of Warcraft subscription free. I don't think it'll be the other way.
I don't know. I think my take has been, I think that Xbox is slowly going to come out of the console market and become the Netflix of gaming. I think that the Xbox Series S and X might be the last like big console launch from Xbox, and they might just upgrade little things when they need to. Um,
Yeah,
and
it
become.
definitely seems like they're just looking to slowly edge people closer and closer to playing PC.
You think so?
Yeah, like I feel like they'll honestly get to the point. I mean, it's pretty much there with the Series X, in that they're just selling you a base PC that they know is going to be able to handle most games. Like that's the only thing stopping, I think, PC gaming being like the the norm. You know, because like you can use your controller and everything on PC and that sort of thing. It's literally just people not knowing how to use PCs and the foreignness of like actually gaming on a PC to, people who aren't into it, like the casual sort of gamer.
Yeah.
Like having to work out whether your game is going to run without just going, okay, this is an Xbox Series X game. Yep, that's going to run on my Xbox. Um, so I think next sort of console generation will purely be just like here's a PC for you, but it's got an Xbox logo on it.
Do you think we'll ever see Games Pass on other consoles? Like, do you think you'll ever see a Games Pass on PlayStation or Nintendo? Because
Well,
I do, and I think that if that was to ever happen, that would be a win for everybody, including Microsoft, obviously. Um,
yeah,
if they went down that way and said, hey, we're not trying to compete with you guys. This is our service now. Why don't you guys get on board and we can work together, if that makes sense?
yeah, I can't see that happening unless they actually get out of the hardware industry.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, like, if people are going to buy a console for Game Pass, then or like buy something to use Game Pass, they've got to buy like a PC a or an Xbox, which both, you know, Microsoft has the operating system for PCs, and yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be Game Pass. It's all speculation, I guess, and we're just two people talking to the internet for an hour a week. Make sure you like and subscribe. But it is just wild to see all of this, and just going back to the $70 billion purchase, it's just crazy how much you don't think about how Microsoft dwarfs PlayStation and Nintendo, but they are the fucking monsters in this space.
wasn't it like uh, Nintendo was only worth like 15 billion or something?
I think it was around 60, which is obviously less than what they paid for Activision.
Yeah.
I will pull up the tweet because Jeff Grubb tweeted a few things. He actually tweeted a lot of things. And
I think the craziest thing about that, and we'll get in, well, we might get into it later if we have the time, is where those Nintendo games sit on that top list, and it's literally a company that's worth less than Activision. That's pretty crazy.
Um, very, very wild stuff. And again, I don't want companies buying other companies. And you heard a lot of stuff on, especially Twitter this week, where, you know, how is Sony going to respond, especially because it seems like Xbox and PlayStation are in the console wars still. When
Yeah.
Nintendo is just doing their own thing, and you know, people are going, "Oh, PlayStation should buy Capcom, or PlayStation should buy Konami, or Square Enix, or you know, PlayStation has to
PlayStation
buy
should get some
someone."
consoles on the fucking market.
Well, here's the thing, yeah, like just to finish off my point first, um, I don't think anybody should be buying anybody because then you just have less companies trying to produce better games, and you're just having one
Yeah.
company trying to do it. And I think in some cases it can be okay. I think Konami definitely needs a new home or some new leadership where they make more gaming related products and get away from pachinko machines. Um, but I also think that yeah, buying companies for the sake of buying companies isn't in the best interest for the gaming industry either.
Yeah, well, I think you hit the nail on the head, and it's this thing like I always equate these things to rugby in the rugby world, but like if you're in a team where you're like pushing each other for like position, your team is going to be stronger because you're working harder. It's the same in the gaming industry as like multiple companies are constantly pushing each other to be better because they want to be able to be the top seller. You know what I mean? And there's no point if one company owns everything, then like they can get away with some of the shit that companies have been getting away with in the last recent years, like EA. And to be fair, Activision with how shit like their Call of Duty games and shit like that have been.
This is another thing I wanted to touch on. And to take, sorry to take you away, but you did mention something that I want to talk about because you mentioned how shit Activision is. I do just want to read this because I feel like this is the best part about the whole thing that's happening at the moment. So I do have the welcome letter up on the podcast, and anyone can go read that when they like to. I won't go through the whole thing, but I will go through. I'm just trying to look. Here we go. So this is just a paragraph from this letter. As a company, Microsoft is committed to our journey for inclusion in every aspect of gaming, among both employees and players. We deeply value individual studio cultures. We also believe that creative success and autonomy go hand in hand with treating every person with dignity and respect. We hold all teams and leaders to this commitment. We're looking forward to extending our culture of proactive inclusion to the great teams across Activision Blizzard. I think, and obviously with all the shit that happened through Blizzard last year, and I think it even started the year before, all the shit that's happened, and you know that whole mess that we've barely touched because it's just such a shitty situation. I think that the best thing for them was a change and was having
Yeah,
new leadership and new programs in place where um, I don't know if Xbox is going to fix it all. I'm not like, I can't see them waving a magic wand over it and being like, Blizzard, you're saved. But at the same time, I think they're definitely going to have some really hard investigations and try and get to the bottom of what the issues were and go from there to try
yeah,
and drive out the shit that has happened.
yeah. Well, you sit there and you hope that you know there's going to be a difference because the company needs to make a change if they want, you know, a good view in the public eye. Maybe, yeah, as you said, like Microsoft coming in is that little bit of a clean slate. I don't know what they're doing with employee wise, if they're going to be like looking to bring Microsoft guys into Activision to change things around, like at that higher sort of level. Um, but like it wouldn't be a bad idea if, like, you know, Activision's kind of kept and Blizzard have kind of kept shit quiet on what they're doing to manage this sort of shit. So hopefully, like, that sort of thing is managed. Like, I would. It sounds weird, but I would like to see it managed quietly. Like, they don't need to make a big song and dance about it, because that just makes the issue worse and draws light to just shit people who don't deserve to be recognized. And I think that's kind of why we haven't really touched on it. Is like, I'm a believer in, like, I hate the fact when people become famous because they're infamous. You know, they're a shit person. They shouldn't be getting any time in the spotlight. They should just be fucking shunned.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Uh, oh, sorry.
So it does look like there's been a lot of reports and rumors. The current CEO of Activision is Bobby Kotick. Now everybody's come out and said that he's been really problematic. It looks like he is leaving with all of this going down. Looks like he's going to get away with making a shitload of money in the process, unfortunately. But it is just one of those things that I think obviously Activision will grow better without him.
Yeah.
And hopefully the culture obviously changes a lot, because there was a lot of stuff that's happened. I'm not sure how into this sort of stuff you are, Lucas, but I do like following gaming news in general. So this is just one of those things that I have followed, and apparently he was very, very problematic for the whole Blizzard development throughout that whole ordeal, and obviously beforehand, knowing what was going on, keeping it to himself and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The less piece of shit people in a company, the better.
Yeah,
That's the.
that's got a really good point.
Um, to be like fully fair, like, this sort of shit can be blown out of proportion and that sort of thing, and stuff can be, like, you know, over exaggerated or falsified and that sort of thing. Like, I hate calling people's pieces of shit if I don't know the full story, but, like, that's the way it is. Is like, I don't believe people that are gonna be doing the wrong thing should be in these places of power. So if we can fuck them off, fuck them off.
It's a pretty fair thing to say, I guess. We will move on from that. I will pull up a tweet, and it was actually, sorry, Jeff Keighley who tweeted. I'll just move the camera over here. So he was just looking at the market cap for a few other companies. I know you can't see this, Lucas. I apologize.
Yeah, I said to look over there. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
I saw you look, and I was like, I wonder what he's looking at. I will link it to you. It is in the notes for the podcast this week. Currently, EA is worth, or market cap, at $38 billion. Take Two, which is the GTA games, Rockstar's $18 billion. Nexon is $15 billion. Bandai
What's
Namco, I don't know what Nexon is.
I'm
Bandai
looking.
Namco is 15 billion, Embracer is 10 billion, Netmarble is 7 billion, Ubisoft 7 billion, Konami 6 billion, Square Enix 5.6 billion, Capcom 4.9 billion, and Sega 3.6 billion.
Nexon apparently makes, like, electric cars and shit as well.
I don't know
They
who
seem to be
Embracer is either.
they seem to be like a mobile gaming company.
Ah, makes sense.
Yeah.
He did add to this. Jeff Keighley did add to this tweet. Take Two just recently bought Zynga, and they would be worth closer to $28 billion because of how big Zynga is. And it does go to show how big mobile gaming actually is. Because some of these companies are just mobile games companies. Zynga and, Activision bought King, which is the company that did Candy Crush. That's $1 billion revenue a year that they just bought, which is insane from one video game, one mobile game.
Racer's Gearbox, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Let's have a look.
No, isn't Embracer
Yeah. Nordic.
Oh, okay.
Formerly Nordic Games, yeah.
There you go. Hey, THQ Nordic, Gearbox, Coach, and a few more. Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember seeing them tied to something Gears of War, so it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So they've got a relationship with Microsoft as well.
Wait, are you thinking Gears of War? Don't you mean Borderlands?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
yep, 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 yep.
Because
I'm wrong,
Gears
man.
of War is a first party.
Yeah,
I
I
think
was
it's
thinking Gearbox, Gears of War. Yeah,
yeah.
don't worry. My bad.
So like I said beforehand, I don't think any of these should be bought out. Like I don't think that's the move from here, and I'd like to just see uh, these companies do better. If that makes sense. Like for example, EA has made some shitty video games recently, um, but you know, I think they're still okay, and I'd like to see EA flourish and fix Battlefield and fix Apex Legends and fix all their video games and be good.
Have you heard the rumor about Battlefield?
It's going free to play ish or something like that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Is I assume it will be through EA Play or whatever. Um, which that will be huge if so, if like true. Um, it kind of makes sense to me. Like people aren't buying the game instead of discounting the game and cutting out that like sort of group that is still gonna pick up the game physically. Just be like, oh yeah, it's on EA Play, and EA Play is like what $10 a month or whatever, so they can get more people playing their game without actually dropping the price of their game.
I don't know. I just reckon you know what they should do? Fix the fucking
Fix
video
the fucking
game.
game.
Yeah. um. Look, it's I don't know. I had fun playing the beta, and I can't see myself playing it again unless we have a whole squad playing it, and even then it's just like only because my friends will be playing it. Like it's not something I've never
Yeah.
been interested in playing. I'd rather just play Apex Legends if I was to play a shooting game. Do you, while we just got this list up, do you want to see any place for these companies to go if they were to go anywhere?
No, not really. The only one I could probably say is like send Take Two to somewhere where they're actually going to release like a GTA 6 or you know upgrade Red Dead 2 for Series X, because I don't know how you'd upgrade that game for Series X because it's pretty fucking amazing as is. But
I mean, a 4K 120 frames would be nice.
it's the gameplay in the game's pretty slow. That 120 frames doesn't really change a whole lot. I don't know. That's like sacrilege in the gaming
Yeah,
industry.
you're gonna get our podcast cancelled. What the hell?
Um, but yeah, like the way that game plays, because like I've actually played it on PC and I've played it on my Xbox, and to be fair, I didn't really notice a difference when it was running at a higher frame rate.
What
So
about in 4K?
I haven't played it in 4K. I don't have a 4K monitor on my laptop.
I can imagine
Um,
4K would be a game you'd want to watch in 4K or play in 4K. K, sorry.
well, I do have my new TV. My TV is 4K. I haven't actually booted it up, so you've given me something to do over the next week.
I can't believe I've just made you play Red Dead again instead of another video game.
Play it through it again. I've still got challenges that I haven't got done that I'll probably just go in and
to,
try and get done.
to be fair, I've gone back to Final Fantasy VII Remake to go platinum it, just to find something to do.
I mean, you've been playing what's it? in RuneScape season or series.
Oh,
What is it
Leagues,
called?
Leagues.
Leagues.
Yeah,
That's the one.
yeah, Leagues came out in RuneScape. I streamed a bit of that, played a bit of that off stream, tried to get some content out there. It's been fun. If you've ever wanted to play RuneScape but don't want to spend 200 hours clicking the same tree, this is the mode for you. um, no, not interested. Not for you.
Not in. Nah,
Fair
nah,
enough.
different strokes for different folks.
You're really just not an MMO guy. Like I feel like your MMO was Destiny, and even then, I don't think you played an awful lot. Like you've played a
I
lot, but not
I
like
played shitloads of that,
yeah. Okay,
and it's probably not shitloads to MMO standards. I just can't see myself investing that much time to not progress in a game.
it is
You know?
hard. It is MMOs are ridiculous because you just got to keep grinding. You can't just stop and finish ever. Um,
I,
just because they
I'd
keep
love there
going.
to be an MMO that like I'm interested in, but it's a tough thing to crack for me. Yeah,
I mean, I think that's why I really appreciate Final Fantasy 14 is because the director is a huge gamer and his philosophy is, hey, when we have new content, come check it out, have some fun, and then when we're finished, go play whatever you want, and come back and see
mm.
us when we got some new content for you. And you know, I think it's just really taken off this year because I think Asmongold obviously helped that a lot because he was streaming that this year, and obviously there is a ripple effect from streamers, you know, especially at that size. But he also had Endwalker, which was huge. And he's had a lot of people playing the game for a lot longer than they normally do, which is amazing. But you know, it's just one of those things that's I really like about it is you can just play, put it down, pick it up whenever, and just go again. If that makes sense.
Because what year was Final like the actual game released?
So there's two
Basically,
versions of it. And I think the first one came out in 2010, 2011.
yeah,
Um,
and then Realm Reborn came out, right?
yeah, and that's 2013, 14-ish, where they just basically remade the whole game.
Yeah.
They're literally a
See, like,
Realm Reborn, just to cut you off, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Um,
you're fine.
it's literally like the opening cutscene is them nuking the old world. Like a giant dragon comes in and blows everything up, and then you start again on a new world. And it's really funny.
Look, I love that for the company and for the gaming industry that people can come together and be like interested in a game that's from that sort of time that is still getting support. Like I love that. I don't know if you are aware what happened in like the Halo um, world this last week, but
Halo 3
essentially,
servers got shut down?
yeah, Halo's 3,
Yeah.
Halo Reach, a bunch of them all got shut down, and that was like you know huge parts of people's growing up, like especially me, is like seeing it shut down and no longer get supported as something you expect from the gaming industry. So a game like Final Fantasy that's getting this support carried on and it just keeps evolving. I hope that's not what happens for GTA 5. Like, I'd rather them just do a GTA 6.
Well, there was a
But
report, or there was a speculation that GTA 6 would be the only Grand Theft Auto game to come out on this generation, like the PS5, Xbox Series X
yeah,
generation, because they're basically just going to be pumping out that online content again.
yeah,
And I think it does come down to like as cool as it is for games to last so long. It also comes down to like obviously finances. Like you have so many
yeah,
subscribers to Final Fantasy that it is just generating a revenue every month for the company. So it would be silly for them not to. It is
yeah,
sad that obviously the Halo servers went down, but you are only taking that away from dedicated fans, and
yeah,
they're not paying for the servers. Like, and those things are expensive too. Um,
yeah,
I don't know why. You know, I'm sure if Microsoft didn't buy Activision, they could have afford to switch those servers back on for a bit longer, but here we are.
Oh man, like Infinite's a good enough game that just go play Infinite. It's free to play.
And this is going back to obviously the start of this whole topic. Um, I the reason obviously I was concerned at the start is because Microsoft now owns Call of Duty, Halo Infinite, Doom Eternal, Overwatch. All of the major FPS games are on Xbox like owned, and it's just I guess it's up to Sony or another developer to bring out another first-person shooter, competitive first-person shooter. You can say EA's Apex and Battlefield are both up there, but it is wild to me that so much of if you think of FPS games, they're owned by Microsoft now.
PlayStation's going to bring out another Killzone.
Whatever happened to Killzone? Was it as big as? Was it big? I never played Killzone.
It was huge in the PlayStation, like
3.
Yeah,
Two?
PlayStation 3, and they put a really cool trailer out that everyone was like, oh yes, this is going to be a Call of Duty killer or whatever, and then it was like a cinematic trailer that they claimed was
Game engine.
gameplay,
Yeah.
and it was fucking terrible. They just kind of like, swept Killzone under the rug.
I mean, I guess it's a shame, but there's no reason not to bring Killzone back, or I'm sure there'll be a new shooting IP that they'll find.
No, they'll just bring back Killzone because, it's easier to just bring back a game and like make a brand new game and just slap an old name on it anyway.
Yeah.
I did see that Microsoft's open to bringing back the Guitar Hero games, which I actually think will pop off in this sort of generation with, the amount of like casual gamers in the gaming industry at the moment.
There are a couple of things that everyone's talking, and the same thing happened when Microsoft bought Bethesda because they own Obsidian as well. So they were talking about having the Obsidian work on a Fallout game or something and have all that go together. There were obviously speculation rumors already of what Microsoft can do, and Guitar Hero was one of the biggest ones. Another big one is, could you imagine Banjo-Kazooie and Crash Bandicoot in some kind of team-up game owned by Microsoft?
Well, they've been talking about doing a multiverse game of the Microsoft companies, like a fighting game. Oh man, I don't want it.
Man,
at all.
didn't everybody learn their lesson with Nickelodeon, and Warner? I guess Warner Brothers is doing one too now.
No one learned their lesson.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think of what other titles able to come out, but I just can't think off the top of my head. I'm sure there's some.
We pretty much hit the main things, just like your Call of Duty, Overwatch, and that sort of stuff. It's pretty crazy to think about it, but from what's happened with a lot of the Microsoft deals is everything that gets speculated just doesn't happen. It's like when Microsoft bought Rare or whatever, everyone's like, oh yes, new Banjo-Kazooie, and just like slapped out one Banjo-Kazooie game, which was shit.
It was awful, then, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they've just buried it since then.
To be fair, I think it should have been buried after that abomination that came out.
Well, so I don't know how much you know about it, but the game Yooka-Laylee, which is literally like the guys that made the original like Banjo-Kazooie games that had left Rare came together and they made their own spiritual successor. That had fairly decent like cult following for
I
those who knew what it was.
I heard it was like disappointing. Is it not disappointing?
I only played the demo, so I couldn't really tell you. The demo was fun enough. I have it downloaded. I just haven't played it.
Is it on Game Pass?
I think it was a Games with Gold, but I think it is on Game Pass as well.
Yeah.
Um, I just want a new Viva Pinata. Pinata.
Yeah, I think Xbox is a bit too tied up to make a new Viva Pinata. It's not in the budget at the moment, unfortunately.
Get Rare onto it.
Res.
The games that like Microsoft own that I want to come out is like um, Viva Pinata, the new Fable game, and that's about all I can think of off the top of my head, to be fair.
Do you ever get those moments where you don't know you want something so badly until somebody says it? Because I didn't know I needed a new Fable game until you said they're making a new Fable game. I completely
Yeah, they
forgot.
announced it a few years back.
That,
Yeah,
yeah, I remember it was at E3 last year. Everyone was like, "This is the year for Fable," and then they didn't show Fable.
they showed a. Oh, that might have been the year before, but they showed a trailer that pretty much just said Fable, and that was it. I
Man,
think that might have been 2020.
I should go back and play Fable 2. It's probably one of the best games I've played, but just because it's been so long, I just don't
Yeah,
remember it as well, unfortunately.
at least
Where
one downloaded at the moment.
Yeah, I'm going to go to my Xbox app too and download Fable. um, Fable 2 was incredible, and I never played 3 or 1. I just picked up 2, literally because it was on Good Game. You remember that show, Good Game? Yeah, they reviewed it and they were like, "Yeah, this game's amazing." I'm like, huh? I'm gonna buy the video game.
Yeah, there you go. I have Fable Anniversary Edition downloaded.
Is that the like Fable 1?
Yeah. I can hear your brother.
I don't know what he's doing. He was very happy before. He plays RuneScape as well, and he did something. So he's very happy before, and yeah,
Yeah.
I said, "Go away! I'm recording a podcast." Nah, I didn't.
I heard you say it.
I gotta save face, man. Why are you throwing me under the bus?
You said, Lachlan, I love you, but I need to go, alright?
Anyway, moving on. Have you seen the second biggest piece? Sorry, the first biggest. This is bigger than Microsoft buying EA.
Yes.
You fucking caught me off guard with that one. Yes, this is bigger than your penis. This is When We Were Young. Have you seen this festival?
Have you seen what?
When We Were Young? Have you seen the announcement for When We Were Young?
No.
No?
I thought you were saying this is something about when we were young. I'm like, what are you talking?
Hold on, let me pull this up. So
You
huge
mean the Adele song?
huge festival happening in America at the end of the year this year, called When We Were Young, right? You haven't seen any of this yet, have you?
I'm looking at up it now.
Alright, so you have bands like My Chemical Romance, Paramore, The Used, AFI, Bring Me the Horizon, A Day to Remember, Avril Lavigne. You have like a million other bands. Ice Nine Kills, Neck Deep, Census Fail, Sleeping with Sirens, Hawthorne Heights are going, 4 Years Strong, State Champs, 30H3, just like All American Rejects.
Did you say 30H3?
Yeah. Isn't that what they're called?
B-O-B. Isn't it B-O-B? Oh, it's just 303, sorry.
Do you know that I have no idea.
303.
Ah. I have no idea. Anyway, this festival is missing Blink 182 to be my perfect thing I would go see. I Prevail's going, Pierce the Veil's going. Um, Mayday Parade are going. This thing's huge. I'm almost shocked that you haven't seen it yet, to be honest.
To be fair, I could not see myself buying a ticket to it.
I mean, I can't either because it's in Las Vegas and it's $300 for a ticket. And then I got to get to Vegas to go.
I'd rather go to Smokers Club Fest 2022.
Is that like people
Headline.
watching darts or something?
Nope, headliner is Kid Cudi, ASAP Rocky, and don't care about the other one.
Wait, there's a smoking festival and you're telling me the Chainsmokers aren't the headline?
It's called Smokers Club Fest 2022.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi is the headliner. That is possibly the most perfect person to like headline a smokers thing.
They have smoke in the name. The Chainsmokers should headline that.
Yeah, but 90% of like Cudi's songs about smoking weed, or he wrote while smoking weed.
Fair enough. I see you are way more into hip hop and that kind of scene, and I'm such an emo boy that I was so excited I wanted to talk about this. But also, bit of bad news, or bit of everyone's been a bit skeptical about this. People have bought their tickets and everything, but
Yeah.
people are saying this is just going to be the emo version of Fire Festival, which is the festival that was supposed to happen on that island and never did.
Yeah, I was trying to work out what your connection to Fire Festival was there. I was like,
yeah.
okay.
So apparently some of the bands never knew that this was a festival. They just were playing on this day. If you look at the event website, there's no sponsors. It's a 2-day festival, but they're playing one day, like if that makes sense. So it's like one day and then they're playing the same set the second day. So there's just a huge amount of red flags to this, and I'm upset because I really want to go, but at the same, like, I hope it happens, and I hope it's not a Fire Festival emo version. But you know there are some red flags, so it's unfortunate.
Chitty Bang is playing at Smokers Fest.
Who?
Chitty Bang.
I don't
He's
know who
pretty
that
much
is.
amazing.
Is that a song of his?
Yeah. You know Chitty Bang if like you heard his song.
I don't know who Chitty Bang is.
Hey, yo, once was a kid, all the other little kids. Something like that.
Oh, that's in a movie, isn't it? I thought that was a Bob song. B.O.B. or Bob? No?
You know the song, that's about it, to be fair.
I think I know
Wiz
the song.
Khalifa's playing? Lupe Fiasco, bro. Lupe Fiasco is
Look,
Chef Kiss good.
you've kind of ridden the point of my festival and put your own festival in. I'm staring hands down. My festival is cooler than your festival.
So, like, literally, like, I was looking at your festival on, like, a webpage about it, and then it was just, like, showed me a thing about Kid Cudi, and I'm like, oh, I'm so much more interested in that festival.
To be fair, you have got me to listen to more Kid Cudi recently, and not even directly. It's just something that we talk about. Soundtrack to My Life is just it's like the most emo hip hop song I've ever listened to, and I was like, I fucking love it. It's the emo version of the music I listen to.
There's actually a song on that album that I was listening to the other day that I think you would like, and I think it's the song Higher, so HYYERR. If it's the song that I'm thinking, like, I'll have to double check it because I actually hadn't heard it for a while, and I was like, damn, this actually sounds like a song Brandon would like when I was listening to it.
You told me about his punk album that I should listen to.
I mean, it's an album. Even he refuses to talk about it because he was in just like a shit place mentally when he wrote it, but
He could be at the he could be at this festival, the When We Were Young festival, if he kept going down that road.
I'm back on that page. I'm having a look. All right.
Let's be honest. Let's go through. Is there anyone that
Jimmy
you?
Eat World.
Yeah. It just takes some
Um,
time, little by little.
yeah, I'd be down for Jimmy Eat World. We the Kings. Oh, this one's got a lot less people than the ones you were saying.
Wait, which
The
one?
lineup that I'm looking at has less people than what you were saying.
No, it seems like a
All
lot.
American Rejects.
Yeah, they're going. Boys Like Girls. Knocked Loose.
Fallout Boy would be a good one if they had them. Do they have Fallout Boy? No.
I feel like
I like
Fallout
one
Boy.
My Chemical Romance song.
Is it the Black Parade?
Trying
It
to
is the
clean
Black.
up your looks.
Ah, it's Teenagers.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Rage Against the Machines reunion tour.
Kiss
I'm,
are, Kiss are coming to Australia this year. I just know that because one of the guys at work is a huge Kiss fan. I think he's going, but I have no idea.
I feel like they'd all be in like retirement homes at this stage.
Nah, they're still rocking. Um, I think Motley Crue are opening for them, or they opened for them last time or something. And they're all fucking on their last legs. Those guys, not their last legs, but they've lived a life.
There you go. So Rage Against the Machine is playing with Run the Jewels. I don't know if you know Run the Jewels, but Run the Jewels is pretty on point, pretty on the ball.
Don't know who they are yet.
I'm honestly finding more stuff on
Powering
here,
off.
like other stuff that I'm interested in. I'm sorry. I
Powering
know you're so
on.
passionate
Mic
about
off.
it, but like,
Battery
I have
low.
an album. Oh, he's taking his headset off.
Charging battery.
Please continue.
Did your headset go flat?
It did. I'm sorry, everyone. I have to charge it. This thing doesn't last very long anymore. It's on its last legs, unfortunately. Should buy new headphones, but just haven't yet. I will, but haven't.
So my like bands that would make me interested in this When We Were Young festival if they would play it there would be Panic at the Disco, Blink, The Offspring. Hell, chuck in some Good Charlotte.
Haven't we seen Good Charlotte live? I know we saw My Chemical Romance at Big Day Out years ago. Man, that was a good festival. Do you remember watching Kanye West at that?
Oh mate, yeah, like I say to this day, that's probably the best live performance I've ever seen.
I still think I saw A Day to Remember a few years ago, and A Day to Remember probably my favorite band that aren't called Blink-182. So my second favorite band, I guess. And yeah, I was just like, they fucking smashed it that night. It was really something else.
Let's see. Was a wait? Did we go in 2012 or did we go 2011?
2012, I'm pretty sure.
All the way down here. No way. There was a Big Day Out where 360 and Cursor played on the same show. Tony Hawk played on this one. What was that? 2012. Yeah, we saw 2012.
We saw Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
He was at the ramp at the back doing some shit when
That's right.
Parkway Drive were playing. I think
Yeah,
Parkway
My
Drive.
Chemical Romance there. Yeah, so your headliner was Kanye West, and then you had like Soundgarden and Caspian. The Living End, Hilltops Hoods. I know Flume played like the same time as Kanye.
Look, okay,
Uh,
it would be sick to see Flume live, but I feel like that type of music versus seeing Kanye West live, like I just feel like you'd rather go see Kanye West, right?
First Science was there. They had
So
that
Odd
song.
Future.
Yeah, yeah. I was about to say they were shit.
I mean, they were they were fucking cooked out of their minds singing some like Yonkers shit.
Yeah.
Literally saying Yonkers, by the way. That's the only one I remember.
Um, this is probably doesn't mean anything to you, but I can't believe 660 was there, which is a New Zealand band, which is like huge in New Zealand in the last couple of years, and I didn't even know they were a thing back then. So, what even
Oh,
songs did they have in like 2011?
let's be honest though. Like, good for them. Like getting in that festival back then,
Yeah,
making moves.
I look. I know it's not really your music, but 660 is a band I think like a lot of people would like if they actually knew about it. They just got a good vibe to them.
What is it? Is it more hip hop and rap stuff?
No, no, it's I don't know. It's how would I describe it? What type of music would it be? 660. Let's see. What type of genre do they say they are? I like. I would. It's more like soul music. Not really soul. I don't know. What do they call themselves?
Alternate folk? Are they a folk band?
They are, yeah. Soul, electronica, drum and bass, pop rock, R&B. They're not drum and bass. No, I wouldn't. Yeah, pop rock maybe. But yeah, no, they're worth a listen to.
I'll give them a listen. I like
It,
expanding
it,
my horizons. I don't know, just started listening to more hip hop and more rap again now because I've just been so in my own circle of music for so long now that it's just like all the bands basically on this list plus some Blink, um,
yeah,
and all like skate punk, emo music, just all that kind of. It's a huge variety, but I love that sort of music. But no, I've been
yeah.
trying
I
to
think
branch out a bit.
I have recent conversation. Oh, sorry, regular conversations with my mate Luke, and Luke. But like him and I have a weirdly overlapping um, taste in music, and like I'll hear songs. I'm like, yeah, damn, he'll be into that, and then he does the same to me. But we also have completely different music tastes, and I've been like exposing myself more to his sort of stuff like that, which is like because he was in his own band for a while and that sort of thing, and he liked that sort of style of music, and then he's been listening to like more of my songs and that sort of thing. To be fair, I got him into Kid Cudi as well because he seen me listening to it on Spotify, and he was like, "Oh, what's that song?" And then, yeah, so what you call it? Yeah, I'm the type of person that's like open to any style of music. If I can sit there and listen to it and not be mad, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
I will be honest. When I was working at the mines last year, I got way more into country music than I thought I would. Like honestly, um,
I love a bit of country here and there.
uh, like
Especially
Zach Brown band, little bit of chicken fried.
the best part about country music is playing country music in front of people who don't like country music.
They really think it's so off-putting, right? Like it's
It
just
is.
music.
I Josh, one of my other mates, every time I would get into his car, I'd be like, "Oh, can I play some music?" And without a doubt, I'd like ease him in, I'd be like, a couple songs here and there that he liked, and then just boom, drop some country on him, and then
Bit of some
boom,
Chris
drop some
Stapleton or something.
just drop some like heavy rap on him and that sort of stuff, and he's just like, why do I let you do this every time?
It is, it is one of my biggest, like, how do I describe it? One of my biggest, like, things of anxiety when someone goes and hands me the aux cord or hands me the music to play, and I've always just been so into punk music as a whole. That's my go-to, and it's not everyone's go-to. Everyone loves the throwback, and everyone can sing like an emo anthem, like sorry, you say "Where are you?" and like everyone will start joining in. But it's just that it's always been my go-to, and it's something I got more comfortable in, is just playing um, punk rock and rock in general, and it's just I really like the music, so why would I not play it? I guess, and I guess everyone else really likes it too. They just, obviously everyone has different range of what they're into.
So you and I are completely different on that case. I get given the aux, and I just go to town on like anything and everything. Like, I don't care if people don't like the music.
See, that's something
I
I've
find
learned
that fun.
more. When I like beforehand, I just wouldn't do it, and now it's just like I'll put on the music that I want to listen to, that I think people will like as well. Um, I know when you're in the car with me, and you have control of the music. It's just wrestling theme songs, and that's all it is.
I do that to Josh as well. I'm like, if you're a wrestler, this would be your entrance music, and it's just like something dumbass.
That's amazing.
Um, I don't know if you remember it, but Jason Jordan's theme song, like "The Next Generation of Great."
I
I
honestly don't remember it.
I used to play that song for Blake and be like, this is your entrance song. He's like, I fucking love this song. This is so good. It's such a shit song.
I know.
Speaking of wrestling songs, apparently Adam Cole's theme is like the most downloaded like theme in the last like in recent years or whatever. I can't remember how many years they said. Apparently, it's like huge.
It's a banger. Like, it's actually, it's a theme song. Adam Cole's coming out when you hear it. It's so good. That doesn't surprise me at all, actually.
Um, Not a fan of the Red Dragon entrance, but I think they've had that theme for a while. Um, Interested to see where that whole situation goes.
Wait, what situation?
Like the tension between Young Bucks, Adam Cole, and Red Dragon.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I just, yeah. I'm so out of the loop with wrestling at the moment. I don't watch anything. I just watch major titles. I'm excited for the Rumble, though. I
I
love
was
me
going
a
to
good
say
Rumble.
that's next week, isn't it?
Oh. Who do you
Yeah,
think?
Sunday.
Who do you think's winning the Royal Rumble?
Kevin Owens.
Really?
Yeah.
I want Kevin Owens to win the Rumble. I really do.
I it sounds like a weird reason, but like I haven't watched WWE stuff for a long time. To be fair,
Yeah.
like I see maybe one or two things in my YouTube feed, but like the name that I keep seeing pop up is Kevin Owens, and going by like recent years and that sort of thing, the guy that ends up winning it usually gets like a decent rub in the month leading up to it, but it's like they don't push him major time, so you're not expecting them to win it, but they just, you know, put their name first on YouTube videos and shit like that, just to.
But do you see him going on to WrestleMania to win the title? Like, is he going to beat either Lesnar or Reigns?
I could see it being a triple threat with Reigns,
Rollins.
Seth, yeah,
Yeah.
Seth and Rollins, because Rollins is fighting him at Rumble.
See, that's from the limited things that I've seen, because I've just been watching. I haven't watched anything actually. I've just been reading spoilers or SmackDown and Raw reviews.
Yeah,
My guess is Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens have this weird kind of team up at the moment. Like they're both bad guys, so they're working together or something. I reckon Kevin Owens is gonna screw Seth Rollins out of the title, and then Seth Rollins is gonna screw Kevin Owens out of the Rumble.
and then they'll have another Mania event like they did 2 years ago.
I'd be okay with it because that match was a banger in front of no people. That was probably the best match on the card. Sorry, that was the best match on the card. Yeah, that was
Frog Splashing episode. Yeah, that was pretty
awesome.
fucking.
So it was the best
That
match
was
on
the
the
same
card.
year as. Yeah, I was gonna say that was Firefly Funhouse. Oh, not Firefly.
Yeah, it was the Firefly Funhouse
Yeah.
and the Undertaker Boneyard match. It was the best match on the card that wasn't.
The cinematic match.
Yeah, because those matches were fucking fantastic. Man, I just I don't like that it was a result of like COVID and everything, because I do really wish WWE did more cinematic stuff, and even if it wasn't part of like weekly wrestling, like if they did, and not an Undertaker interactive Netflix movie, but they did like a Boneyard match where it's just a movie, but it like happens in canon of the wrestling universe or something. That would be fantastic. Who do I see winning the Rumble? I think it is AJ Styles, only because I want him to win the Rumble. But I don't see him winning.
It's probably Bobby Lashley.
Oh no, not Lashley.
Lashley, or maybe they give it back to Big E.
I don't like. Big E got fucked over the title, yes, but I don't think he needs the Rumble to get it back.
Yeah.
AJ Styles, Finn Balor, two names I really do think I'd love to see headline WrestleMania against each other. Like, that's a dream match. And I know they've done this match before, but that is a WrestleMania dream match for me.
Yeah.
To headline. Wildcard winner, Johnny Knoxville. Johnny Knoxville is in the Royal Rumble. And if he wins... Oh boy, if he wins.
Like, weirdly, who I would like to see win, that, like, I don't see any chance of actually it happening. I'd like to see Tommaso Ciampa win it.
Ooh.
I think that would be, like... Because he's pretty much gone from NXT now that he dropped the title. I think he had a match on SmackDown like a couple weeks ago, and he got a pretty decent pop. I would love to see that guy actually get like pushed on the main card. I don't ever see it happening.
They've fucking butchered NXT so badly. I feel so bad for anyone who's ever worked on NXT or in NXT and what it's become now. And I feel bad for the people still working there because they're trying to give it their all. And I'm just shitting all over it saying how bad it is.
I see, like, the guy that's champ at the moment, Bron Breakker.
Yeah.
I see him being big. Like, I honestly... I could not see, like, him being screwed up going to the main roster if he's just handled the same way that he is, you know?
See, I could have said the same thing about at least 5 guys that I would have thought were like that. Off the top of my head, like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura, Keith Lee, Adam Cole, and obviously that last one's more of an exception to the rule. Like, he dipped early. But those first 4 should all have been ex-WWE champions multiple times, Rumble winners. Just, they should have had such a better career in WWE than they're having at the moment.
Do you want to know why I think Bron Breaker's different than all of those guys?
Because he's a big sweaty man.
And like he's a big sweaty man. He can wrestle. He's pretty decent on the mic. So I guess he at least has like 33 and a third chance of doing well.
What if you add Samoa Joe into the mix? Then he's got a 66.6% chance. Oh,
Dude,
sorry.
Omos is gonna win.
Omos is gonna get released soon. I'm sorry, Omos. I hope you have a wonderful wrestling career, but I just, I'm sorry. AJ Styles could only hold on to you for so long. I think your time's coming soon.
So you know how I was saying like I feel like Kevin Owens is gonna win.
Yeah.
So like I was saying it's because if you go on YouTube, so I've gone back to like this week's Raw. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 videos with Kevin Owens in the titles just from this week's Raw. And he is not a main eventer. He is not in the title picture. It feels like that's what's happening.
I'm okay with it. I really am. I would love to see Kevin Owens get the big Mania moment. Do you think he would beat Roman Reigns though at Mania? Let's say, okay, like this is a huge hypothetical. Let's say it is Kevin Owens and he goes, I want the Universal title, take it from Reigns. Do you see him beating Reigns after they built him up for so long?
To be fair, I still only see The Rock beating Reigns.
I hate that. I really do hate that. I wish... Because then you build up Reigns to be this immortal... He's basically essentially already there. But you're building him up to be this next John Cena, Hulk Hogan figure, right? And if you have to bring in The Rock to beat him, then what happens after that? Like, does he just keep beating everyone again? Because The Rock's not going to stick around.
I feel like they get rid of the title. I feel like they go to one world title again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see. To be fair, the one guy on the roster that I think that they might drop it to is Seth Rollins.
Could you imagine if he won at the Rumble?
It would not surprise me, to be fair.
I would be shocked if that's how Roman's like 2-year title reign finishes.
508 days it was the other day.
I would be shocked at that almost 2-year reign. Okay, 500. Yeah, I thought it was nearly 2 years. I guess it is, but I thought it would be a lot closer than that.
Yeah, we've got Relive, Roman Reigns, historic Universal Day. Yeah. Doesn't make sense how they've written that, but alright.
You know who's crazy? Who, like, the crazy horse is in this prediction? And this is honest? Austin Theory. Because he's just had he's had such a good run in, like, he's doing segments with Vince and stuff. I just feel like they're really doing good stuff with that guy.
Oh, they'll definitely do like a comedy spot with him in the Rumble. Even if it's like, the typical someone went under the rope and then he thinks he's won and then that person comes in and throws them out.
And he might do a selfie in the ring or something. Does he still do that? I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, alright. Final prediction, your Kevin Owens. My final prediction, Johnny Knoxville. To win the Rumble.
Welcome to Jackass.
Yeah, it's going to be... Ryan Reynolds is going to come back to steal the fucking egg from Vince McMahon and win the Royal Rumble.
I mean, that's an avenue for The Rock to come back. He was in that same movie.
He was in that same very mediocre movie.
It's in the movie, to be fair.
It's worth a watch. It's okay. If you got nothing else to do, I'd watch it. But
Gonna win the Rumble.
If I was you, I'd rather watch the Not to Get Political podcast every week. So like to thank Lucas for joining me again. It's a pleasure as always. And I'd like
Thanks
to
for having me.
oh, it's not having you. You're always here. I think. I don't know. You made this awkward now. What have you done? All right.
I tried to like fade into black then, but it didn't work.
Just go to the city. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure to like
I
and
love this
subscribe,
intro.
and we will yeah, we'll see you next week. Bye.